You have probably met someone like this. Quiet, ordinary car. Nothing flashy, nothing loud. And then one day, completely by accident, you find out they retired at 51, own 3 properties, and haven't worried about money in over a decade. You never would have guessed it. That is the point. The people who are actually building wealth are almost never the ones talking about it. And once you understand why, you will never look at money or the people who have it the same way again. There is a pattern hiding in plain sight. It shows up in behavioral economics, in decades of psychological research, and in every serious study ever done on how real wealth is actually built. And the pattern is this: the loudest voices in the room almost never belong to the richest people in it. Thomas Stanley spent over 20 years interviewing millionaires across America. His research, published alongside William Danko, revealed something that stunned the financial world. The vast majority of people with serious net worth were not the ones driving the newest cars, wearing designer clothes, or posting about their portfolios. They were teachers, engineers, farmers, people you would walk past without a second glance. Stanley called them the quiet accumulators. And their silence was not accidental, it was strategic. Here is what most people do not understand about money. Wealth is not a performance, it is a result. And the moment you start performing wealth, the moment you buy the car to signal the success, wear the watch to prove the status, host the vacation to confirm the lifestyle, you have already redirected the very resources that build real wealth into the machinery of appearances. You are spending energy maintaining an image rather than building an asset. Your brain makes this very easy to do. Neuroscientist Tali Sharot, whose work at University College London explored how the brain processes reward and optimism, found that human beings are wired to overestimate social approval and underestimate long-term consequences. In plain terms, your brain gives you a genuine chemical reward for being seen, for being admired, for status signaling, even when that signaling is costing you everything quietly in the background. You feel rich before you are rich, and that feeling is expensive. Now think about someone who has actually built wealth quietly. What is different about their psychology? They have made a decision, consciously or not, to delay that reward, to not collect the social approval now, to not let the outside world confirm something that is not yet fully real. And that discipline, repeated over years and decades, is what turns an ordinary income into an extraordinary outcome. The silent millionaire is not mysterious. They are just patient in a way that most people cannot sustain because the social pressure to perform is relentless. Consider what happens the moment someone in your circle makes more money. The car gets upgraded, the apartment gets bigger, the dinners get more expensive. This is not vanity. It is a deeply human response to a phenomenon that psychologist Robert Cialdini described as social proof. Your spending calibrates to the people around you. Your definition of normal expands with your income. And the gap between what you earn and what you keep, the gap that actually becomes wealth, never widens because you keep closing it with consumption. The silent millionaire breaks this loop, not because they are joyless or antisocial, but because somewhere along the way they stopped using money to communicate to others and started using it to build something for themselves. James Grubman, a psychologist who has worked extensively with high net worth families, talks about the difference between people who have wealth and people who perform wealth. The performers are constantly seeking external validation. The builders are building something they do not need to show anyone. Grubman found that the builders almost always had one thing in common. They had separated their identity from their net worth. They were not their bank account, so they did not need to prove their bank account to anyone. This is harder than it sounds. Your identity and your money are intertwined in ways you have probably never examined. Think about how you feel when you cannot afford something your friends can. Think about the specific discomfort of driving an older car when the people around you are in newer ones. Think about how you phrase things. I'm not in that tax bracket, or we don't really do vacations like that. As if the financial fact is also a verdict on who you are as a person. That discomfort is not a weakness. It is your nervous system doing exactly what evolution designed it to do. Monitor your social standing and push you toward actions that protect it. For most of human history, being low status in your group had real consequences. Reduced access to food, protection, mates. Your brain still treats status threats as survival threats, and so spending money to maintain status feels urgent in a way that saving money never does. The silent millionaire has, in some deep way, overridden that program. They have found identity and security in something other than what other people see. In the number on a spreadsheet no one else can access. In the dividend payment that arrives whether anyone witnesses it or not. In the property that quietly appreciates while they are at work in a car that is 7 years old and runs perfectly fine. And because no one knows, there is no performance to maintain. There is no audience to keep up for. The energy that most people spend managing impressions goes entirely into the actual work of building. Stanley's research found that the average American millionaire had been living in the same house for over a decade, drove a used car, and had never owned a boat. They spent lavishly on exactly two things: education and financial advice. Everything else was remarkably ordinary, not because they could not afford more, but because they had never connected their self-worth to their visible lifestyle. Their wealth was in the thing you could not see: the accounts, the assets, the compounding that had been running quietly for years. There is also a protection in silence that most people overlook. The moment your wealth becomes visible, it attracts friction, requests, expectations. The quiet erosion of relationships recalibrated around what you have. The silent millionaire knows something important. Generosity and privacy are not opposites. You can be deeply generous without broadcasting your position. And keeping your financial life quiet protects something more valuable than money. It protects the ordinariness of your relationships. Wealth talked about becomes a social object. Wealth never spoken of remains purely functional. A tool you use privately for the things that matter to you on your own terms. So here is the counterintuitive truth that all of this research, all of these studies, all of these decades of real data keep arriving at. The less you say about money, the more of it you tend to have. Not because silence is magic, but because silence means you have stopped performing. And once you stop performing, every dollar that used to go toward the audience goes toward the outcome instead. You will probably never know the silent millionaires in your life. They will keep driving ordinary cars and eating at regular restaurants and saying nothing notable about their finances. They are not hiding exactly. They just have nothing to prove. And that, more than any investment strategy or income level, is the real signal. The one you were never supposed to notice. The person you would never suspect. The quiet one. That is them. And now you know why.